Hi, this video is about the most important focus for law firm SEO by far. I'm shooting this in the middle of 2022. I think this will be true for a while. My name is David Hood. I'm the Dallas SEO Geek. And let's get into it. So I'm going to use this picture to explain why what I'm picking is the most important, and then give some extra context and go further and explain to you kind of what you can do, what your options are for working on this most important focus. So the ads come first in Google, but most people skip. I saw a study a while ago that said 80% of people never click on ads. So there's more traffic available in the organic or non-paid section. Now there's some terminology jargon that I'm going to try to clarify here. And this is true for most law firms. It's not true for all. There are some markets and some specialties or subspecialties where the searches that they want to rank for, the maps listings do not show up, or at least they're not the first non-paid results. So these are the first non-paid results, called the maps 3-pack, or just the maps listings, or just the maps. These are the non-maps organic results. Some people also call this just organic, even though I think the maps are organic. And these are consistently below the 3-pack. And I had to work really hard to make this screenshot, because if you actually do this search on a desktop or a mobile device, you have to scroll down pretty far even to see this #1 listing. All right, so priority #1 for most law firms is going to be greedy Google Maps. Because I say it's greedy because right now it's soaking up most of the traffic. Most of the people are going to click on this area. First of all, it's the first non-paid result. Again, most people skip over the ads, and they know that these are ads. And it's also much more engaging and colorful. If you look at this compared to this draws the eyes more. It has the reviews. People click on it and they engage with it. Right, so the vast majority, the most traffic is going here. Not only that, but the non-paid traffic is worth more than the paid traffic. It comes with this traffic comes with an implied almost like a referral from Google. So the quality of the traffic, I've seen this over the last decade that I've been doing SEO. I've seen this over and over again. The organic, the non-paid traffic converts better, and it just is generally higher quality. And let's look at the long-term trends as well, because there's some really positive long-term trends that point towards this not going away. So first of all, I've been watching this. I've been doing SEO full-time for over a decade now. And when Google started putting the maps listings into the search results, there was actually a 7-pack. And even though it has more, it was ironically taking up less space. It was less bubbly, and it was just much more compact. And they weren't putting it in that many search results. What they've done over the last, starting about 4 years ago, they started making the maps take up more spaces, and the ads as well, but the maps listing take up more space, and they put it in more search results. In other words, they took their algorithm, or somebody decided to tune a knob that said, okay, we're going to turn up the localization on search phrases. So by localization, you can see here, like, it has Dallas in here, Dallas. This is very highly localized. Sometimes you do a search and there's a mix amount of localization where maybe the maps listings is lower, or there's a maps listings and then a bunch of non-localized results. That's kind of lower level of localization. They've turned up the localization, which means the maps listings is in more searches. So it's in more searches, it takes up more space, and it soaks up a lot of that traffic. And on top of this, in about December of 2021, Google made a huge update to their maps algorithm right here. And I do need to take a quick step back and explain briefly how this works. Because this maps listing right here, if you search this and you have your cousin search it and you have somebody else search it, we might all get different listings in this result. And that's because a huge factor for whether or not Google shows this, or what Google shows in this list, is where the searcher is actually sitting and how relevant your brand and your listing is to that location. All right, so what Google did was they turned down that knob on localization, on the ability of a listing to rank over a wider area. So a lot of practices that were ranking, let's say, over a huge geographic area, their geographic area was shrunk significantly, and they, in some cases, I mean, they could have lost 90% of their organic maps traffic because of that. And what a lot of people in my industry are doing is either nothing or more of the same stuff. But I went to work really quickly trying to figure out what's going on here and what can I do to actually get back to ranking. And I feel very fortunate that I've discovered a way that I can rank this actually really quickly and very reliably. Nothing's 100%, but to a very high percentage degree. We can get these maps listings. We can increase this influence to the number of areas for a keyword that you show up in this top 3 results. Because if you see here, I click the view all, and that'll take me to the long list. And there's somebody who's in 4th who's just barely off the first page, and going from 4th to 3rd has a huge effect. So what we want to do is we want you to rank over a wider area. I've actually included a tracking software, the output of a tracking software that creates what I'm calling a Geogrid right here. I'm going to explain. This will help explain what I'm meaning. At the center is the listing, and this is for all these 13 by 13, 169 data points. It searches the main keyword and where this listing ranks in the maps at these specific locations. Okay, and you can see, well, this is still really good. All these 1s, 2s, and 3s are on the first page over a wide area. This is each of these dots is 2 miles apart. There's still some really good opportunity with these 4s, and you can see it's a little tougher to rank in downtown Dallas. Let me actually give you, I think there's a better example that this is a more developed project. A more common project is where that you rank right around here, and then you rank really poorly pretty quickly out. I'll find one of those. Okay, here's a more common example. This is actually a really big law firm that does a lot of marketing. I know. And I'm pretty sure they make a lot of money, but their listing still does not rank that well. You can see this is actually 13 by 13, only 1 mile at the center. So if somebody's sitting right next door and they're searching for their main keyword, like personal injury lawyer, then they'll actually rank in the maps, but only for like about a 1 to 2 mile radius, and then they quickly drop off. And so one of the this is a common. I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't run this before the upgrade. That if they had like a bigger influence before the upgrade, and if you envision all those different areas, there's major highways along here that they're missing out on, because I believe this is a personal injury lawyer listing, to where they could get a lot more traffic, a lot of valuable traffic. Okay, so there's major updates. I think I've figured out how to really tap into this and how to really make it like this and even better. Still working on this one. And it does depend on the specialty in terms of the amount of localization. A large amount of lawyers, again, like personal injury lawyers, family lawyers, criminal lawyers, and several others. I can't think of off the top of my business lawyers. The maps listings are going to be primary by a wide margin. I want to also point out one of the reasons why I think this will stay. Google makes more money with this. In this listing, it's not shown, but most of the time, or not most of the time, a good amount of the time, there will actually be an ad in this first spot as well, and it'll be marked as an ad. And if you click on View All, they serve up more ads. So they make more money by setting up these listings because people stay on their platform longer. They also get more data, and Google loves their data. So they can understand more about what's going on and what they can do to provide the results they're looking for. Also, again, I mentioned versus ads. This takes up the maps listings, soak up most of the searches versus ads and versus non-maps organic. Okay, so let me compare this to some of the other areas of SEO real briefly and explain kind of how they are relevant to them and from a maps standpoint, and a relative importance, and also how they're integrated. So where you rank in the non-maps organic I wouldn't say it necessarily has an effect on where you rank in the maps. It's more that the things that help you rank in the non-maps can influence the maps. But while there are definitely quite a bit of unique factors, there is some relation there. So if somebody comes to me and their maps listing isn't ranking very well, so they're not getting a lot of traffic, but in the non-maps they're actually ranking really well, they're typically going to rank faster in the maps than somebody who comes to me and has no rankings at all anywhere. And so what that means is that like link building to your website does affect maps, and on page does affect maps, especially for like personal injury lawyers and business lawyers and criminal lawyers. A lot of lawyers, they have a lot of long tail searches, and people are still putting those in. And by long tail, I mean low volume but long, and there's a lot of words and it's specific. So a common example would be like a dog bite lawyer. It doesn't get searched a lot, but if you get it, it ranks really well. By having content on your site in a specific way and integrating it properly with your maps listing, for a dog bite lawyer, it will help your maps listing actually rank better for dog bite lawyer. All right. And then target client brand engagement. This is important because Google is tracking to see how people respond to your brand. It's your website and your Google My Business page primarily, but there's sometimes some other factors that come into play. You don't want to have poor engagement metrics on either one of those places because that can actually hurt you. So what this also means is that, just to give a silly example, it could go so far as the person who answers the phone is rude to people. And so as a result, they go back to the search results and they call more people. Google is actually going to notice that. So kind of having all of your sales process buttoned up is going to be a relevant factor here. But really, when it comes down to it, if you want to look at, I'm a big fan of efficiency. In my previous life, I studied efficiency and systems and human integrated systems and very complicated systems. And oftentimes I found it best and most efficient to focus on what's most important. And the maps listings are what's the efficient focus here. By focusing on that provides, I think, the biggest return to most law firms. But also know that some of these other factors are integrated, and they can be a bottleneck or a threshold that you need to meet to enable more rankings if this is really bad. Like if your link building is super bad, it's going to be harder to rank your maps. It's not impossible though. What I want to offer you is also, I'm so confident that I will be able to rank you and that it'll be obvious to you that there's good quality results, that I'm willing to offer a 4-month full money back guarantee for the SEO. Okay, I don't know anybody else who does this because sometimes it doesn't work. I'm not saying it works 100% of the time, but it works a lot of the time, and it works quicker. Most of the time, people are probably telling you wait 6 to 12 months. This can actually happen pretty quickly. A lot of times within a month or two, we can start seeing these listings grow in influence. All right. So, and if you're interested in that, call or book a call. I'll try to put a link to my calendar. Hopefully it doesn't get too spammed for a free SEO analysis and recommendations. I will give you a warning though. If one of your competitors hires me, I will not be able to work with you. Our booked call will either be canceled or will be very short. So if you're interested, please go ahead and book a call, or just pick up the phone and call me, or you can even text the number that I'll put on there. I try to answer my phone, or I try to respond pretty quickly. So for example, if somebody hires me to work for Dallas Personal Injury Lawyer SEO, and then you also want to rank for that, I will have to turn you down because I don't want to compete with myself. I think it's unethical. And anyway, so thank you very much, and give me a call or book a call, and you'll get a free SEO analysis and recommendations, and we'll go from there. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.